Let's bring in UBS Director of Floor Operations, Art Cashin. Arthur, it's good to see you, as always. Is Tepper right?
My pleasure.
Fed did a good job. You think the stock market's fine for now, too?
Well, I think there's some seasonality to worry about. I think the Fed got past the hurdle they needed to get past. I thought that Powell was going through all kinds of contortions to try and make it sound as dovish as possible. They had to recognize, some of these price increases. It's highly unusual to see the chairman of the Fed up there trying to explain what made CPI as tough as it was. He's talking about used cars, talking about airline tickets. That's highly unusual. He even went so far as to caution that we shouldn't get too far ahead of ourselves. We still have COVID, and he started to cite the mutations. There was a highly unusual performance, and I think he was desperately trying not to let the dot plots overspeak the case. So I think he did a very good job.
I mean, he even said as much, right? Don't read too much into the dot plots. It's not like that's in stone in terms of what the move on interest rates is really going to be, right? I mean, that's part of what his job was post-decision.
Oh, absolutely. As I say, he was going out of his way to say, look, we're still pretty much dovish. We're not thinking about rates. We're only thinking about the QE supplementals. But interestingly enough, our mutual friend Peter Bukvar noted that among the questions, nobody asked the question that your own Sarah Eisen did a couple of days ago with Bullard when she said, why are you still buying mortgage-backed securities when real estate's at all-time highs and you can't get houses? There's no need to help out on the mortgage basis. And nobody asked that, and I think that's something that does need answering.
Yeah, I mean, it's such a key point, given everything we're seeing play out in housing, Art. Bukvar also noted in his note this morning that, as he sees it, the taper has begun, maybe not in practice yet, of course, but in terms of the market's adjustment to that growing reality. Do you see it the same way?
I do, and I think there's a couple of things going on here that we who come onto your media haven't really noted. I think some of this reversal in commodity prices, lumber and the like, people are not crediting the tightening in China. It's counterintuitive because they look like they're having a resurgence of COVID over there, so you wouldn't think they'd be tightening. But I think you're beginning to see the effect of the current Chinese tightening as much as the transitory aspect. So, yeah, we're going to keep watching prices. We're going to keep seeing what the Fed will do. I think they will be very careful about not hyping too much. You saw they adjusted some very minor rates to keep money markets in shape. So they're tinkering. They're tinkering.
Shepard Smith here. Thanks for watching CNBC on YouTube.